It's another episode of the Hoopers Almanac, and in an uncharacteristic episode, we're actually going to break down two games that Adam and I went to. One provided by former co-host Aaron Carter. I got to go to Celtics Bulls on Saturday night, the Derrick Rose retirement jersey retirement night, and I will get into that and how incredible experience that was. And then Adam last week went to the great Spurs Rockets game in Houston. Also, thanks to a friend of his
Mm-hmm.
who I can't wait to freaking meet, Mr.
He's going to be
Britt.
on. He's going to be on. We talked about it. He's coming on relatively soon. Yes.
Yeah, whenever it happens, I will be a joyful man. And then we're going to end the pod talking about one of the best players in the NBA right now in Giannis Antetokounmpo and just the crazy situation that is going on in Milwaukee. And also and seeing if there's any historical comparisons to what is happening in that situation. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot to get through. And it's, like I said, uncharacteristic because we're talking about two games that we both went to, because that rarely happens where we both end up lining up, where we both end up going to a game in the same week. But it's going to be fun. But before we get going, let's bring in our friends from Green Top. We are back, and Adam, we had a blast of a week with going to two different games the past week, and it was we both saw two very good games. I mean, unfortunately, Boston lost, and in the San Antonio Houston game, it was just a wild game to end it as well.
It was, and again, unfortunately, San Antonio lost, but if only, yeah. So it's fun. We each get to see our favorite teams play on the road this week, which is really cool.
Right.
So. Obviously, shout out to my buddy Briggs, who has got some connections with the Rockets, and was able to go with him and his wife and another guy. And yeah, really enjoyable game. Seats were amazing. Got kind of hang out in this like lounge underneath. Steve Francis was hanging out down there while we were in there. They did a little thing with him. So there was a between quarters segment where they said, because the game was on Peacock and NBC, so they said the last time that the Houston Rockets hosted a game that was on NBC was in like December of 2000, and Steve Francis was like the player of the game, had a great game. Or it might have been like January or something like that. It was his rookie year, the 99-2000 season, and he had a great game. And so they brought Steve Francis out, and they had the woman who did the sideline reporting from that game interview Steve Francis, like in the middle of the third quarter. It was really cool. He cried. He got emotional. Like, it was amazing. Everyone gave him a standing ovation. Like, it was this really nice moment in the middle of this game, just like totally unexpected. And they put the highlights up on the board, and it was like, wow, what a blast from the past. But there's those white uniforms with the stripes and the giant rocket on the front. So yeah, it was cool. So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and obviously Spurs didn't win, but it was a really good game, and I think we learned a lot from both teams, and another strong Reed Shepherd performance, and yeah, all around just a good time. I just drove straight there and drove back, just right, 3 hours there, 3 hours back, but had a blast while I was there.
Jeez, I mean, we both have made those trips before, like the there and back trips for road trips. I've done it to Indianapolis a few times when I was living in St. Louis, and then OKC, the most memorable one. That was 7.5 hours there and 7.5 hours back. Jesus. No, I mean, one of my worst mistakes. Not a mistake. It was a blast. We called you on the way home from that game, actually. I do remember that. That was up there. But I got to go Saturday to Bulls Celtics. It was the retirement night for Derrick Rose's number one in Chicago. And I will say this: I've never been to a jersey retirement night. Have you? Did you ever go to any of the?
I have 3. Yeah.
Oh my God, who?
Yeah, 2 Spurs and then Maya Moore.
In
Minnesota a couple years ago, which was really cool. Yeah, I did Tony Parker's and Monty Ginobili's in San Antonio.
Love it. Yeah, and we were looking at tickets, and of course I lucked out because I have the best friend in the world in Aaron Carter who got me a ticket. And it was a great time. Hung out with his fiance the entire time. It was great. And we were looking, the cheapest ticket to get in was $300.
I actually looked a few hours earlier just out of curiosity. And I saw one. Yeah, it was like $290 or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. and it was snowing. It's been snowing. I mean, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you probably have been a part of a snowstorm this weekend. Your version of a snowstorm, if depending on what state you live in. In Texas, if you get a speck, it's a snowstorm, or if it just ices. But it was a blast, and also the game was close. And then Kevin Herter decides to break hearts and hit a three to win it all. But it was crazy cool because they talked about it. I mean, so after the game, well, actually before the game, I want to get to this real quick. I think I counted like 18 former Bulls on the court with him, and like on the court, like Rip Hamilton was there, and Rip Hamilton played like what, a year or two with Rose,
season and a half.
Yeah. Brad Miller was there. Aaron said he had to meet Brad Miller the night before, and he came in like dressed in some, like him and his wife came in and dressed in all camo to some like event, and he's like, "This is like the least dressed up a man's ever been to like one of our events." I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, like the list of names, like Kyle Korver, Kirk Heinrich, Luol was there, and now he got the biggest. He and Joakim got like the biggest cheers. Boozer, but Drew Gooden like did not come to my mind that he would be at this event, and he was there. And that was cool.
Any Memphis guys?
Gibson, but that was really about it. I mean,
no, like college.
Oh,
like Chris
Douglas. I didn't think so. I don't think I saw any Memphis guys.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
yeah. But what was cool was, I mean, and his entire family came out in the court after the fact, and like they did like the celebration after the game. And the guys who spoke that used to play were Taj Gibson, Luol Deng, Joakim Noah, and then Thibodeau was there. And I was listening to some like Bulls fans behind me. It was probably the biggest ovation Tibbs has gotten since leaving Chicago, apparently. And like, I was like, that's cool because he's not coaching this year, and just like cool to see that he's getting like that much of reception. So that was cool to hear too.
Yeah, that's got to be the biggest ovation he's ever gotten in his life. I mean, what other situation would you get that much of it? You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Good for him, man. That's well deserved. Because he coached him twice, obviously in Minnesota and Chicago. So
and New York,
and New York, yeah, 3 times, yeah. So yeah, that's really cool that he was there and that he was that well received. So the game ends. How long between like game ending and the ceremony?
25 minutes.
Okay, that's about what it was for the Spurs ones too. Yeah,
but it was about 18 minutes of video, and like they kept showing videos up on the screen as they're getting everything set up, and like the arena's dark and darkly lit. It was cool because like you're seeing highlight videos, but then you're also getting all these videos of like what seemed like every player in the NBA sent in a video. Like, and I'm not talking just like, it's like, I don't know, Kevin Love sent a video, which was really cool. But like Russell Westbrook, I texted Evan about it, and he was watching it, and he was like, yeah, it's super cool. I didn't realize they worked out together like that year they were both getting drafted. And yeah, it was just cool, like the list of people that send stuff in. I mean, MJ, Pippen, LeBron, Curry, I mean, whatever. The one that made me, I mean, kind of choke up was Pau. Pau Gasol sent in one, and that was really cool. And I was like, gosh, another guy who was only there for like a short time with Rose, but still, like, his was pretty powerful too. And then yeah, just all the former Bulls that sent stuff in, like Nazir Muhammad, like it was crazy. And then so 15, 20, like 18 minutes of video, and then it was Taj talking for about 10 minutes. Luol kept his short and sweet to like any good groomsman speech, about 5 minutes. Okay. Tibbs was short and sweet, but it was, you can tell like his yelling over the years is starting to take a toll on his like normal voice.
Yeah.
And Joakim was kind of like emceed it, like he was kind of running the show, and then he passed it over to Rose, and Rose thanked everyone under the sun, and it was cool because of how he did it. I'm sure you saw the video of him calling out Tibbs. He's like, you may have gone to Harvard, you may have known physics, but I showed you physics. And it was like, it was crazy cool. The crowd erupted. The amount of times we heard MVP chanted across the arena was cool. And then, and then I forgot to say this. Keke Palmer did national anthem and also performed at halftime. Like, everyone freaked out for that, and like Chicago grown. The other guy didn't play with Rose. Iggy was there. Andre Iguodala was there. And we were like, interesting. Okay. But he's a Springfield, Illinois guy, so near
Yeah, that's true.
Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really cool experience. And then yeah, once they dropped the curtain over the number one, it was like this is like special. But I guess I didn't realize I know like all the numbers that are retired up there: Jerry Sloan, Bob Love, MJ, and Pippen, and now Rose. It's like it's been like there had not been that impactful of a player in Chicago. Every 20 years, it feels like there's a new guy that comes through Chicago. It's like you are that impactful. I also forgot how many times Taj Gibson and Rose played together outside of Chicago. Tibbs just was whatever Tibbs was. He was just bringing in Gibson and Rose. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, it was a crazy cool experience. And I mean, you've experienced it with your favorite team. This was one of the first players non-Celtics that I fell in love with, and it was the first jersey I ever had. And so it was crazy cool to see that against my current favorite team in the Celtics. So it was crazy cool. It was a really
That's
cool
awesome.
event.
No, I'm really glad you got to go because it's really cool to see, again, even if it's not like your team or whatever, just like that moment where, hey, this guy played for a while here, right? He obviously had, some level of success because they're retiring his jersey. He gave these fans so much joy, and this is like a chance for the fans to kind of like say thank you, essentially, and kind of the constant ovations and stuff like that. It's like there's not enough like there's no such thing as like too many ovations or MVP chants in a setting like that, because it's like, hey, like this is kind of our last time like really really show you love for all the joy that he brought all those fans, and then obviously being from Chicago I think is a huge element too. But you kind of hit on it. I mean, the Bulls are notoriously pretty stingy with retiring jerseys. Like there's some of the franchises that have had, if they had had the success the Bulls had, a bunch of those dudes who played on those championship teams would be retired. But they're pretty like stingy about it. So yeah, it's only the fifth one. Is obviously fully deserved. I mean, he lasted 8 years there. It's like that was kind of the I mean, that's probably less than you would want kind of for a number one pick. It was that good, but the injuries obviously took its toll. And what's really interesting, and I'd be curious to hear what happened with this, is the two that I did in San Antonio. I went to the Monte Ginobili and the Tony Parker ones in San Antonio. And they did them, just the year after they retired. So for Ginobili, that was just the year after, right? Parker went and played that 1 year in Charlotte. So It was 2 years after he played with the Spurs. But either way, there was a ton of players still on the team that had played with Parker and Ginobili. So all of the players who played in the game came back out and were like sitting and like we're part of it. Did that happen for this too?
So I saw camera photos of it later, but like a bunch of Celtics came out and watched it later.
That's cool.
Like Tatum, Brown, White, Shireman, and then Garza came out and watched it. That's the people I saw, and maybe Walsh too. And then you could see Vooch stayed around, Giddey, and then so you couldn't see a bunch though. I mean, we're upper 300 level, and we were on the Bulls side. But honestly, the Bulls sideline was where a lot of the setup was for his entrance. And all of the the family's entrance and everything, and so you really couldn't see behind all the setup from where I was angled. But I was thinking about this, which made me think about it more now. There are still in my head a limited number of guys in the current NBA. It made me get on this topic in my head of who would have their jersey retired with certain teams already.
They've done enough at this. If they never played another game today, today was their last game. Who would have done enough? That's a good question, because it is a sliding scale based on the franchise. I don't think there's a set. It's obviously if you're a younger franchise like Memphis who hasn't had a ton of success, that bar is going to be lower than the bar for the Lakers. That it just obviously you got to do much more. If you're going to be a Laker and get your jersey retired. So that is an interesting question. So did you have a list, or do you want to just run through some teams?
Well, I was thinking about it just generally from last night's game. Celtics, I only thought of Tatum and Brown. The two guys. And I can't think of anyone else, though. I mean, maybe White, but I can't even say that
quite
yet.
Long there to earn that. Because the Celtics are one where, man, you got to really do something, to have your jersey retired.
And that leaves you with just only a very few amount of single-digit numbers if you're the Celtics after Tatum and Brown get retired numbers. And then the other one I thought of was, if we go to the Lakers, I don't know if LeBron gets his retired. Maybe.
I think he will. Yeah, I think he will. Because if you think about other people that have it, Jamal Wilkes is retired. LeBron's done a lot more than Jamal Wilkes in that Like it's gonna be 8 years till LeBron played with the Lakers. That's the same amount of Shaq.
True.
8 years.
That's true. You're right. Okay, that's a good point. Shaq was only there 8 years. Jeez.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about like Minnesota. I thought about Ant. Like at this point,
Yeah, Ant will. Yeah.
I was gonna say Ant, and then
honestly,
I thought about. Say it again.
I bet they retire Cat.
Probably Cat too, and which made me think, okay, other big men that have like since left their team, Anthony Davis in New Orleans, and then I thought about Anthony Davis in L.A., but then I was like, L.A. he was too short. It was too short of a time there, but I think New Orleans absolutely he gets his jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, New Orleans for sure. Yeah. Chris Paul could get the Clippers and Pelicans.
Yes, that was the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Obviously, Hornets franchise. I know he didn't play on the Pelicans. Yeah, I think anybody who understands that knows what I mean.
I understand.
The New Orleans franchise, yes.
Yes. But then it made me think, okay, has Kemba had his number retired by Charlotte?
No, and they have like
very little.
Do they have any? I'm Bobby Phillips because he died.
Right.
Is that it? That might be it.
Charlotte Hornets retired numbers. No, it's just Bobby Phillips. Oh, and Del Curry, which is happening in
then
March.
Kemba for sure.
Well, yeah, and like Del Curry's is because not only because he played with the team for 10 years, and now since he's been their announcer for so long. But Del Curry has played the most games in Hornets history, and is second in points behind Kemba.
Yeah, no, Del's that's good for a franchise like that who's had very little success. That makes sense. And he's worked.
But it should be Kemba on there.
Kemba definitely will. Yeah, should get it. Okay, let's just go through the teams real quickly. I'll just go rapid fire. I'll throw them out there, and you tell me. Detroit Pistons.
On their team currently, I mean, Cade maybe, but not yet.
Yeah, Cade's on the way, but not yet. Okay, Celtics, we already said Tatum and Brown. Raptors, nobody current.
Nobody current, no.
Knicks.
Brunson, honestly, at this point, you have to think so.
Yeah, this is his fourth year. If he plays like 2 more seasons with them, they'll do it for sure. Cavs.
Not yet. I can't think.
Yeah,
I don't know if Mitchell is there yet, and Mobley not yet too young, and I would like to see what he does after.
But those two have a great chance.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, Sixers, Embiid for sure.
Yeah, Embiid and probably Maxey. Yeah,
not yet.
Not yet though. But Embiid absolutely.
Magic.
Nothing yet. I can't. Nope. I don't think what Paolo and Franz have done yet constitute it. Maybe Mo Wagner, just with how long he's been there.
Franz. Mo or Franz?
No, I'm saying Mo. I'm saying Mo with how long he's been there, but I was definitely joking.
The Magic, I think, just have Shaq, so they got to do Dwight soon now that he's retired and like.
I was going to say, I don't know, maybe once he moves back to America, or I guess he's back in America now. Is he still playing overseas?
No, I think he's done. So yeah, they got to do Dwight soon. That's ridiculous. They don't. Okay, I already talked about the Bulls. Heat.
No, no one yet. Not yet. Not yet. I don't know, because hold on, let's do this. Who has the Heat retired?
They retired Shaq. He only played 4 years there.
It's so okay. If Haslam has his, then sure. Bam, sure.
Yeah. Because they have Hardaway, Mourning.
And no, Hardaway's not.
Oh, Hardaway's not. But Mourning
is Hardaway. It is Bosh, Wade, Hardaway, Dan Marino, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Shaq, Lonzo, and then Haslam.
I don't think they still have it, but they used to have a Marino and Jordan like banners in the arena. Like the first time I went to Miami, they had banners of those two. It's really strange.
I for some reason remember some night where it might have been the Udonis Haslam jersey retirement night, and I remember them talking about, like the announcers talking about Jordan's number being up there. So maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, strange. Okay, Hawks.
Well, it would have been Trae Young, but not anymore.
Yeah, I did wonder about him. I mean, 7 years there? I don't know. That's
one conference finals. They haven't won a title since the '60s, and that their last conference title run was because of him. So maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Bucks, Giannis, obviously.
Giannis is the only one.
Do we think Middleton gets it. I could see that. He was there for a
Middleton,
while.
maybe.
Won the championship.
Middleton, and yeah,
All-Star.
Middleton probably. Yeah, that's a good call.
Okay. Charlotte Hornets, we already talked about Kemba. Brooklyn Nets, no. Indiana Pacers.
Halliburton's on his way, but not yet. I mean, he's only been there 3-4 years at this point. It's
4. Yeah.
You take him to a title. That's a good move, and that again, they've only done that to get him in the chance of a title. It's only been twice in Pacers history in the NBA. They won a few in the ABA.
Yeah.
But not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Wizards, no. Okay, Thunder, Shea, obviously.
Shea, J-Dub, and maybe
Chet,
even...
I would say Shea could retire tomorrow and get it retired. Chet and J-Dub need a few more.
Absolutely agree.
Spurs, Wemby.
Already.
No, not already. No, but like he will be, he's well on his way. So no. Denver Nuggets, Jokic, obviously. Murray, I think for sure.
Jokic and Murray, absolutely. Maybe even Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon, we'll see. He needs to play a few more seasons, but like, Gordon's one of those, like, if he ends up playing 10 years there, they should any one, title, maybe 2. They should do it. Rockets.
No one yet.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Lakers.
I'll say this though. I mean, hold on real quick though. I will say KD's number and Russ's number will get retired in OKC.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick.
Just need to say it. Yeah. No, they obviously Russ will, but like even if they do the whole like holding out a grudge for KD, that'd be stupid. I don't think Presti's like that. Presti he'll have them retire KD's jersey because he absolutely should be up there. Lakers, LeBron. That's it.
Maybe Reeves.
Suns.
Booker. Yeah, Booker, absolutely.
And that's it. I mean, this is Booker's 11th year. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Timberwolves. Ant, definitely. I think Ant's done enough already.
Yeah. Ant, definitely, and that might be the only one.
Yeah. I can see Cat. I can see them doing Cat.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a low bar franchise. Like, they just have not had a ton of success. He was a part of, multiple playoff teams, played in there 9 years. Like, that's pretty good. All-star multiple times.
The only other thing is they don't have any outside of Malik Sealy.
Yeah, I think they're doing KG soon because the trade over of owners.
Yeah, true. I guess that's coming up.
Taylor, but he will now. Okay, Golden State, Steph, obviously, Draymond, obviously, Clay, Will, there too. I mean, all 3 of those guys, easy.
Do you think Kerr gets his name up in the rafters?
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I think that's
the finals appearances. Yeah, not bad. Tons of wins.
Yeah, I was just saying, absolutely. And back to the Celtics really quick. I will say also Brad Stevens' name will probably get up in the rafters.
Oh, you think so? Interesting. As just like a contributor?
Yeah, as a coach and a president of basketball operations, absolutely. I mean,
if he stays longer.
The amount of times he took them to the conference finals as a coach slash president is ridiculous.
So now,
I just think.
You think right now that he's done enough?
As of right now, I do think so. Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
But Kerr, I agree that Kerr should be up there for the Warriors.
Kerr will be up there. Yeah. Blazers, Dame, obviously.
Maybe McCollum.
I was gonna say McCollum and LaMarcus. Now that LaMarcus was like officially retired and done, like I wonder if they do that. Like I don't know. He was there a decent amount of time.
Would be an interesting one. It would make sense for him as well.
Yeah. I could see them doing it. Dame, no doubt about it. Clippers.
Griffin, Chris Paul, and I don't think they do Kawhi.
I don't either.
It's just been such a weird situation there. I can't see it yet.
Yeah, I don't think they will either. But you never know. I guess if he plays a few more years there, I mean, there's going to be a point where it's like, man, you were here for a long time, and he was obviously good. Okay, Memphis.
Right. Yeah. So I thought about that. This is the other one I didn't want to talk about, but I guess we got to talk about it now. Maybe Ja.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah.
But thinking about former Grizzlies, you got to do Conley.
Oh,
Conley would be the other one to add up there.
And then Mark is happening. I think have they announced that yet? I think they said they're doing that. That might be this year.
That one I figured if it hadn't happened, I figured it was happening this year. Because Zebo got retired, right?
He did. Yeah, last year. Yeah.
So
or 2 years, 2 years ago.
And Tony Allen.
Yeah. Which Tony Allen then No, Mark and Conley, they'll for sure be up there. Dallas.
My answer is silence, and
Uh,
I don't know how to feel about it. Maybe Luca.
Luka?
Maybe Luca.
I mean, I bet they do, Luka. I bet they do.
Have to do
I
Luca.
mean, he totally warrants it. I'm just like, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if they. I don't know. That's just such a strange situation. I mean, that's so far his retirement's so far from now, but we'll see. Utah. Yeah. No.
I thought Donovan Mitchell for a half a second. I thought about Gobert
Oh,
for a half a
actually,
second.
Gobert. I actually could see Gobert.
Yeah, like Gobert would be the one between those two that would be like probably Gobert because is Eaton's number retired?
I don't think so. I think they're a little bit
on.
stingy too. Yeah, let's pull it up though.
Jazz retired numbers: Frank Layden, Dantley, Maravich, Larry Miller, Stockton, Hornacek's on there. Malone, Daryl Griffith, Eaton is on there, and
Okay.
Jerry Sloan.
They're not so stingy.
And then Jerry Sloan. I mean, yeah, I think Gobert and maybe Mitchell. Mitchell kind of left with weird terms. Gobert was like, we need to move on. And so I would think Gobert over Mitchell at this point.
Yeah, Gobert was there longer. Yeah, so I think Mitchell was only 5 years there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Derek Favors?
No. No, don't think so. Kings.
Sabonis, maybe at this point.
Yeah.
And maybe Fox.
Yeah, but obviously got traded. Yeah, I mean maybe anyway, but I don't know. That's Yeah, I don't think either of those guys. I mean maybe they do it. And then Pelicans. Anthony
AD,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Not Zion.
No.
And not Brandon Ingram.
No.
Maybe the only one I thought about was Drew Holiday, possibly, but it might not have been that long of a time.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that actually. I mean, for again, if he like his Celtics tenure, no, because like it's just not, like that's too good of a team. I have too much success for the Pelicans. Like, yeah, maybe. So who should be first for them? I would go Chris Paul first, then AD.
Well, just mostly because Chris Paul will be retired. Next,
yeah, just in terms of like importance, like I would go Chris Paul first.
Chris Paul, absolutely. I mean, he skyrocketed them into being like important for like the back half of the 2000s. And yeah, I totally think that it should be Chris Paul is more important than Anthony Davis is. I wanted to do this exercise. I didn't plan to do it, and I'm glad we did do it though.
No, that was fun. So, actually, we didn't talk about that at all. That's just on the fly. I enjoyed that. That's good.
Absolutely. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to hit on Adam's trip to Houston, and then we're also going to talk Giannis in Milwaukee situation. But we'll be right back. We kind of hinted at the game early on. You kind of gave a description about the Rockets Spurs early on, and I kind of wanted to dive into it because it was a very close game, and it's two teams who we both had the Spurs as a contender in our re-tiering last week, and then we had the Rockets is in that firmly as a playoff team, but not firmly as a contender yet. And yet last week, recently we've just seen the rise of Reed Shepherd in Houston, and they're back to almost fully healthy outside of Van Vliet, of course. But it is one of those teams that they feel like they're on the cusp of being a contender because of games like this. But then they also have games where they like almost blow it to like crappy teams. They lost to Philly last week, but then they also then go on to beat Detroit. And it's like, okay, there's a lot of ebbs and flows here. The loss to the Kings and then the back-to-back losses to the Blazers like 2 or 3 weeks ago was brutal.
Yeah.
But going to Houston, being there alive for, that game, what did it feel? Did it feel like a playoff game that night? Because it looked like it through the screen.
At moments, like the intensity on the court, yes. But my Houston fans my Houston fan friends will agree with this. It's not a great atmosphere. Like it should be, but it's late arriving, and they even got a bonus because there was that 20-minute delay because the rim was tilted. and we had to wait for that. So that it just allowed me to go get some extra free food. But it was yeah, it's a bummer. I was so one of the guys that was with us. I'd never met him before. He was kind of a client of my buddy's company and stuff like that. And big basketball guy. We talked a lot of basketball. He's a UConn guy. But he watched a ton of NBA. He really knew his stuff. And so we're talking during the delay and all this stuff, and he was like, "Man, like it seems like it's kind of, it's like not really full." I was like, "Yeah, this is kind of how it is here. Like it's just until the playoffs and until the team's like really, really, really good. I mean, like those years where they were playing the Warriors every year in the playoffs, like I think that has some good atmospheres for those games. But in a city that's so basketball crazy and it produces so many awesome basketball players, it's not a great atmosphere. And the building's 20 years old now. It's nice, it's cool, but you always want it to feel more legit than it does. But I look around, I was like, man, there's a lot of empty seats here. So when I compare it to Saturday night, the night before, or a few nights before, when the Spurs and Wolves game, which was nuts, that I went to in San Antonio, Anthony Edwards had 55. That felt like a playoff game, atmosphere wise, and what was happening on the floor. So it was like that place was. I mean, it was rocking. I mean, the Spurs obviously were so happy to have a good team back, but yeah, I was disappointed in the atmosphere, but the level of play was awesome. So in that sense, it did feel like a playoff game. And this is a matchup that could definitely happen in the playoffs, whether it's a 3-6, 2-7, 4-5. All that's possible. A second round series is possible. So these teams very well could meet in the playoffs. And there's lots of little matchup things that I think are really interesting. It was a really poor Wemby offensive game. He was amazing defensively, but really poor game from him offensively. And I thought they went to him way too many times down the stretch. Should have kept the ball in Fox's hands. And that happens a few times in these games. It's like, oh, we got to play through Wemby and all this stuff. And some matchups that make sense. My comfort blanket is De'Aaron Fox, though. I feel so much more confident when the offense is kind of flowing through him and when he's playing off the ball and screening and making impact plays like that, popping, rolling, offensive rebounds. That is where I feel most comfortable. He will get there where he will be able to do what KD does, where he just gets at the elbow and just gets a bucket. But it's not very consistent yet. And then on KD, I'm just so like Zach Lowe did a bit about him about how like he's having an underrated season and like he will be historically underrated. I completely agreed with that. He is a beautiful player to watch still. Like it's just so I'm so like thankful that I got to see him play throughout his entire career so many times, sometimes really up close. I've been incredibly lucky. He's an incredible player and still just so good. And we said a couple times, I looked over at Briggs, I was like, man, he is still just like phenomenal. I mean, he had little moments in the game where he got tired because he was having to do a lot of ball handling and the Spurs were kind of hounding him. And that is still a flaw of theirs. Like they just don't have enough ball handlers. But when he's rolling at him, he gets shots. I mean, he missed one late that was like a really good look for him, like a left elbow jumper. And we both looked at each other and we're just like, oh, we dodged a massive bullet there because it's just like he just feels automatic when he gets that. So I can't say enough about how good KD still is. And I do think his career will be underrated, and I think he's still underrated right now. But no, what did you see? I mean, it was a really good game. Did you watch the entire thing?
I did watch the entire thing, and the thing you brought up that I wanted to talk about was in a game where where the Spurs are playing an incredible opposing defense, which is the Rockets. Castle looked tight, Wemby looked tight, and the guys who stepped up, Champagny was incredible. I mean, was
flamethrower,
ridiculous. if you're at, I have that playoff lit, like guys that trust in the playoffs. If you're ever questioning if Champagny should be on that list, you're wrong. Go back and watch this game. Like the confidence he has in his shot, and then how good he can be defensively. Like he's a B+, A- defensively for the Spurs, and I love him. I love Harper. Wish he could have a little bit more consistent of a jumper. But then on the Rocket side, you talked about Durant. It's like whenever he has the ball in his hands, he went 7 of 12 that night. But it's one of those things. It's like the 7 shots he made were like important. Every one of them was just like a dagger, and you're like, oh my gosh! But you never think it's going off. You never think it's missing. The other thing was you could see how much like San Antonio was trying to put it out, and Wemby makes it so easy just to get offensive rebounds, but they had like a concerted effort to get offensive rebounds, and Wemby had 5 of them. What I love most about this Rockets team is the rise of Shepherd. And also I love that they have like these rotating like wings that they can throw out there with Eason, Finney-Smith, Jabari, and I get Jabari's getting shit on a little bit, but in that game he was good. And then Durant.
Yeah, I thought Jabari was really good in that game.
Can you, for the life of God, tell me why Josh Okogie is getting playing minutes on this team. It makes no sense because like the Philly game, he was like so integral. It felt like to whatever Udoka was trying to do that night. I'm like, is there really no room for like Aaron Holiday or Jashawn Tate to like get in this game rather than a freaking Okogie? Like,
or
why
just
is
more
it?
Shepherd minutes. I mean, that's what's like surprising to me is like I think that's what'll change come playoff time. Like, there's gonna be a point where it's like teams just aren't gonna guard Okogie like they do Shepherd. I mean, Shepherd is like a legit threat offensively. Like he is super skilled. The shooting is phenomenal. I mean, there was the lull. The Spurs controlled the entire first half and we're up by what was their biggest lead? 17, I think was their biggest lead at one point.
I believe so, yeah.
And late third, early fourth, the Spurs just looked so flat. It was a chance we kind of talked about. It's like this is the chance they could have pushed this up to 20, 22 points, and they just looked really, really flat. Some bad turnovers, some bad shots. Houston gets right back in the game. Reed hits a huge corner three that gives them. They might have given the lead or cut it to like one, and it was just like, man, it's a game now. It's just so frustrating, as a Spurs fan. And then down the stretch, the offense was just like terrible. I mean, it was funny. There was a guy. You'll appreciate this. 2 rows behind me, who was really vocal, really into the game. In the first half, he was like, just like hounding the Rockets players, and then yelling at one point because there was a couple Spurs possessions in a row that were like really like almost beautiful game Spurs level, just like constant movement, cutting. And he just said out loud, he was like, "Look how much they're moving. Look at that!" Like, and he starts kind of not really arguing, but like talking with a fellow Rockets fans like 2 seats over from him. Like they clearly weren't together, and they kind of were like debating, but also like agreeing. It was really weird. And then at one point they started like actually getting into it, and they were like, and one of them just kept going, I know basketball. And he was like, tell me how. Like they were going back and forth.
Gosh.
But then at the end of the game, they were like high fiving and like enjoying the game together. I was like, man, they must have made up. But yeah, and they were like, yeah, see, that's what we needed. But like the Rockets did. They switched it up in the second half. They started playing with much better pace. The Spurs were like flying up and down the floor in the first half, and their pace was great. And that really slowed in the third quarter and let the Rockets right back in the game. So the Spurs are still a young team, man. I mean, they make a lot of really young things, and we saw it tonight. They play the Pelicans. They get down. They're down 14 to start the fourth quarter, go on a massive run, take a 5-point lead, and then lose at home to the Pelicans. Like, just
makes no sense.
11-1 run. Yeah, it's just like, just classic young team stuff. Keldon is kind of the only guy who, like, his energy is just always consistent. Like, always, always, always. Fox can dip a little bit, which can be frustrating. The young guards can definitely dip a little bit. And then Wemby offensively, it can dip a little bit, where he just like, it just looks kind of like tired, just kind of like, I guess I'll just shoot this, like, just because. Like, it's like, no, man, like, there's something more there. Like, let's search for it or get something earlier in transition. Yeah, frustrating game, both parts. But the Houston one was like, okay, like, that was a good team on the road. Like, that played well in the second half. Like, I can kind of understand that one. The Pelicans lost tonight. Yeah, definitely really frustrating, especially with 2 days rest. Like, that's just inexcusable loss. Team with the worst record in the West. So those games, all those matter, man. The standings are so tight, 2-7. All those games matter.
The 2 days off, I don't know what it is. It feels like any team coming off of 2 days off, you're like, you have that one extra day. You're like, is that bad for you?
It's like it feels like
yeah. It really is. It does feel like it sometimes it's like a disadvantage. San Antonio is now back to tied with Denver for second place, which it is absolutely crazy that Jokic has been out and they've still been in the top half in the top 4 of the West this entire time. Like, Houston hasn't been able to catch up. LA hasn't been able to catch up. We could talk about the Lakers. I avoid talking about them at all costs, but we could go down the Luka rabbit hole if we needed to. And then Phoenix with Booker being out, it's like,
yeah, that's big. Yeah.
Because how long is he out for? I missed that. Did they say how long he's out for?
I don't know if they've been given a time yet, have we?
At least a week. It was just a sprained ankle, hopefully.
It didn't look terrible. It didn't look like one that was like, oh, that's a month, At least a week. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, and Jokic is not far away from a return either. So, no, that's the thing is, like, the Spurs, if they want to make a run, like actual run to kind of conference finals thing, to me, they have to be the 2 seed, because I think in the Denver series, if that's Denver has home court, I have a hard time seeing the Spurs winning that series. But Spurs are at home. Yeah, you never know. But I think my most likely outcome for the Spurs is like a 2 or 3 seed, maybe a first round series win and a second round series loss, which would be, that's basically the 2024 Thunder, right? So that's kind of the timeline that they're on right now.
Also, Jalen Green got hurt the same night that Booker got hurt, and Jalen Green has played now a total of 4 games in Phoenix.
Yeah. Barely plays, yeah. It's like I like forget he's a part of the roster sometimes.
I do too. Anything else on this game that you wanted to cover? Because the last thing I will say about this game was this would be such a fun matchup because you brought it up, like how much the Rockets changed in the second half. One thing I miss about Udoka is how well he changes like the game plan come
Yeah.
halftime. Maz does that too if he needs to, or he just trusts his Hugo Gonzalez to just pop in there for 3 seconds and go hit a game time three against the Nets. I don't know what it is about the Nets. They also just want to have our number every year. But the last thing is just the fact that I want to see Mitch Johnson do the same thing and like kind of counteract Udoka every night. I want to see how good he does it because you've been watching them more and more. My question to you is, have you seen those kind of changes from Johnson like in some games, or has it been just like, hey, just run the same stuff or be like try to be the same throughout the entirety of the game? Don't change the game plan.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's tough to know who to kind of pin this on, but the really really like well coached teams are always good in the third quarters, and the Spurs are bad in the third quarter. So that is a bit of a reflection on some coaching stuff, and then I think just being a young team. I think it's more being a young team, but definitely there's some sort of like, you know, I got to watch even closer in some of these games to kind of pinpoint it, but they just seem flat, and some of it is rotation based, and Wemby's been on this like kind of weird minutes limit where it's like, okay, like we have to take him out now. Like when like this is kind of an inopportune time to take him out because like, they've grabbed, some level of hold of this game. Okay, now here comes Luke Cornett, who's like a really good player, but just like so different. I mean, it's just such a different, animal when he's out there. I just don't like, and then some of the guard stuff are still trying to figure things out. I don't love when Wemby and Fox are out at the same time. I really like, to me, I would always have one of those two on the floor. So there's a couple stretches every once in a while we do that, and it's like, like, again, and maybe that's just me kind of talking about with Fox being kind of my security blanket. I don't know. So there's little things that he clearly isn't experiencing. I thought in that game, you saw like, okay, there's a coaching advantage here, and it's with Houston. So in a playoff series, that would probably be even a bigger advantage. So we'll see. It would be an awesome series. I'd love it, and obviously just like the inner state thing. And I've got tons of friends in Houston, so it'd be fun for sure.
Absolutely. The final thing I wanted to talk about tonight was the situation up in Milwaukee. And Giannis, and they lost. Who was it? The game two that they lost. That it kind of went just sideways after that because he announced himself out for the next 4 weeks. It was the game against the Nuggets. Was it the Nuggets or the Thunder game that he announced? And it was the Nuggets game.
Nuggets. Yeah.
He got hurt in the game, and then after the game, he said he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Like it wasn't like the trainer, it wasn't like a reporter, it wasn't like the coach, it wasn't Doc, it was Giannis saying that. And like right after the game, he automatically knew it. I was like, okay,
interesting.
And there's been things swirling in Milwaukee, like just some vague answers that like to questions about like his happiness with the team over the past few weeks, and it seems. There's just been so much reading between the lines of like what he's trying to say. And in your mind, Adam, what is the situation like with Giannis right now? Is it just a plain what are we getting like what is he getting out of this year anyways with how bad they're going to be? Is it like worth just like him playing at all, or does he even want to be there anymore in your mind?
Oh, I think there's no way he wants to be there anymore. He doesn't want to say it. He clearly doesn't want to be a demand a trade guy. Like he wants to like maintain this. But I honestly think, man, this is kind of worse. Like it's like for like the fans, like just say it. Like just like we all know it. We can all see it. Like just say, hey, this isn't working anymore. I'd like out. I think it's time. Like or just say something like that. I think it's time. Because it is. It's so clearly time. And the longer they wait, the less the package is, right? Maybe in the summer, when more teams can kind of be in on the bidding, they could get more. But I think it would be like really foolish of Milwaukee if he showed up in October in a Bucks uniform. Like I think that makes no sense as a franchise. Like it's just time. It's so clearly time to reset. There's no real other ways to upgrade the roster. Like I just don't. I don't really get it. This is your one chance to actually get like a decent haul for him. Just do it. And it does remind me of a few other situations, but like Anthony Davis, like to his credit, was just like, no, I'm done. I actually am ready to move on. Like, and like, hey, let's just cut the tide now. Like, why do this whole like, well, I'll him and haw for a year, and I don't want to be the bad guy. So like, I don't know, man. I love Giannis, but this is a weird look. Like, just say it's time. But it's like he wants so badly to not ask out that like this is now like worse. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I feel for like the fans and the franchise too, but and they're probably sitting there like the Bucks are like, well, if he's not asking for it, I guess we'll see if we can like make it work still. It's like why are y'all doing that? Like just cut it off. It's time.
I totally agree. And of course, conveniently, 4 to 6 weeks is like right around the trade deadline.
And deadline is sooner, isn't it? Yeah, it's like
right. Yeah, I'm just more so like it's like right after after All-Star break
in this period.
Yeah. The other thing is, so you're right. Anthony Davis was one of the names it reminded me of. The other one and it ended up him staying on the team was Hakeem. Like in Hakeem, like early 90s, late 80s. After Sampson got hurt and had to end his career, it was just like sideways for the Rockets for like those like 4 or 5 years. It felt like, and I want to say it was 92 that it like he basically was like, I don't want to play unless I have like a good teammate next to me. I remember listening to the NBA 100, the David Aldridge, John Hollander book. Very, very fun read. Or maybe it's David Hollander. I always get those two mixed up, honestly, and I need to be better about that.
David Aldridge.
But anyways, David Aldridge and then John Hollander, or it's David Hollander. There is like
John Hollander,
yeah. But anyways, they were talking about it like in 90. It was like the early 90s, whenever like they were just downright bad for like a year, and he was like, I can't do this anymore. And I feel like that's what we're getting with Milwaukee and Giannis right now. And it's like you have to think in their mind, John Horst is like, okay, we keep the guy who's been the biggest name in Milwaukee Bucks history at this point. I mean, Kareem, of course, is like the better player, but like Giannis has been there longer. And again brought them a title in a bigger, like in a more media savvy era of the NBA, and also has been like a heart of Milwaukee for so many years at this point.
I mean, this is 13th season. I mean, yeah, that's a long time to be in one place.
Right. I may have said it earlier this year or maybe in the offseason. Giannis just feels like he needs his KG moment. Like he, of course, has won a title in 21. KG made it to the conference finals with the Wolves in 04. And it's like, okay, we're 5 years removed from that year. Can I get to a team where my talent, I don't have to be the number one guy on every night, but can I be the number one guy most nights? Whether it be, and that's what KG had with Boston. Like he got to be the number one guy a lot of nights, but if it wasn't him, it was Pierce or Allen. I don't know if Giannis is going to have that opportunity where he can rely on two guys depending on where he goes. But, I mean, it's clear that there's some suitors just waiting for this to happen, and I'm just genuinely curious who's going to put up the biggest pot of gold for Milwaukee to go crazy with.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the names before, and there's different teams, obviously, that are going to be in the mix. But for Milwaukee, I do wonder if waiting till the offseason is the most kind of prudent route, unless someone just absolutely wows you with a package, yeah, it probably makes the most sense to wait till the summer for them, and that's just like an awkward situation for him because it's like I'm sure he wants to compete in the playoffs this year, like if I'm going to do this, I'm going to leave, like let's go do it now. But the KG trade was in an off season. That's a very different NBA, I mean that and then the Hakeem one is even more different, right? So it's like Hakeem does that and he's agitating, I think right, it was 92. 2 years later they win the title with a pretty similar team, right? They got a couple of injection of some young players, right? Sam Cassell and players like that, Robert Horry, but it was largely a pretty similar team. Like it wasn't like these massive, guys. Oh, all of a sudden they signed, an All NBA player. That didn't happen. But that was a league.
Otis Thorpe.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's like that's a league where you could do that. Like you can't do that in this NBA. I mean, they have one of the best players in the world, and a couple other nice pieces, and they're like. What are they like? They're 10 games under 500. Like it's like they're not even close. Like this league is way too competitive, way too much depth for you to just be like, well, in a couple years with just some additions on the margins, we could be right back in the championship mix. No, you can't. There's no way. I mean, there's too many good teams, too many good young players that are in really good situations that it's just not possible. So that's a very different situation. It's so cool that Houston obviously hung on to him and went on to do that. That's a great story. I just don't think you can do that in today's NBA. We actually talked about this last summer when he had finished his 12th year, which is just like KG in Minnesota.
Right, that's what it was. It was last summer, and I thought about
Yeah,
this.
Minnesota at that point they missed the playoffs 3 years in a row after making it to the conference finals. At least
Right.
the Bucks making the playoffs and had a couple shots at it. But man, I don't know. I hope he gets traded. I'm ready for this kind of saga to be over. Poor Milwaukee. I mean, it's such a bummer. But again, you got 13 years of the guy, and you won the championship. So it's like, that's like the whole thing. It's like that changes everything. That's where it's different than KG. It's like this should be hey man, like you gave us everything, go on. We'll reset. That's what it should be.
So, all right, Sam Quinn on Twitter put out a trade, and I want to throw it out there to you. And I'll put it this way: it does end with Giannis in New York.
Okay.
And it's a 3-team trade with the Knicks, Bucks, and the Portland Trailblazers.
The Knicks, okay.
So the Knicks would get Giannis and Jeremy Grant.
Okay.
And then the Bucks would get Cat, McBride, Daddier, and then they would get a total of 6 first-round picks between Portland and New York. Now, some of them would be their own picks back. Like it's like the pick swaps from like the Dame trade.
Okay.
So their own picks back for like 28 and 30. And they would also end up getting Washington's first round pick for this year somehow from New York. I don't know how that works out.
Is that unprotected? That can't be. What's the protection on that? That could be the number.
I don't know, but that can't be right. I'm reading this now. Whatever. Anyways, we'll get to that one. And then the Trailblazers get Mikal Bridges and Yabusele.
Interesting.
Because of the money restrictions, you have to move more than Cat. That's to get like Jeremy Grant too. And then apparently Portland has been like whenever Bridges was like on the market a few years ago from Brooklyn, apparently Portland put out a massive offer that was 1 draft pick different than what New York was offering.
Interesting.
And so
okay.
they want to get back into the Bridges market. And so they're like, okay, if we help New York out and send a few picks to Portland, we want Bridges in the deal, or send a few picks to Milwaukee.
So okay. So this all shakes out. What is the Knicks starting lineup now?
Okay, so it would be
Giannis, OG, and then like Shamet and Brunson.
So it'd be Cat's in Milwaukee.
Oh, Cat's in Milwaukee. Okay. When you said more than Cat, I wasn't registering. I was like, okay, Cat and Bridges to one team. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, Cat.
So it'd be
Cat to
probably
Milwaukee, Bridges to Portland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it would be Giannis, Jeremy Grant, Anunoby, Brunson, and then
Shamet.
Yeah, with McBride and Bridges gone, it's do we go big with Robinson, or do you go Shamet? Or do you say, screw it, let's just go with Jordan Clarkson? Or are you just praying for a buyout guy? But I don't know if they even can get a buyout guy where they are in the aprons.
I think they go Shamet. They need the shooting. I mean, that would be the Mitchell Robinson. That'd be such a clogged. I mean, that's such a clogged offense. I mean, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting.
A very different shakeup, and I would love Portland then a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Portland piece is like the one I like the most. Almost that's. So Portland only gives up Grant and picks, and they get Bridges
and Yabusele.
Yeah, I mean that helps Portland a lot. That's a major upgrade. Grant hasn't played that much. I mean, and Bridges is just a much better player.
Grant was like in the running like the first like month of the year as like a 6-man guy, and then he just like kind of was like, all right, I'm done playing.
Yeah,
he does this every year. He's like, okay, I'm done playing now. He's like, I got my time and I want to play on a really good team. I just still remember whenever he left Denver because he wanted to be the number 1 scorer on a team, and he just went to Detroit. And I will never forget that 1 year there. But yeah, that was just the trade I saw. I thank you, Sam Quinn, for that. And all the replies he's been getting is like, there's been some good ones. And then some people are like, why would Portland send a pick to Milwaukee? I'm like, because you're getting Mikal Bridges. Like, you're helping New York out in a way. Like, you're gonna
Yeah,
get a
big time.
pick. You're
Yeah,
gonna get Bridges for this. I mean, you got to do that. So, um, yeah, and then yeah. So I'm just genuinely curious what ends up happening in Milwaukee. I think this next week is going to be a week where they have to decide what they want to do. Like, especially whether or not, like you said, keep him till the offseason and move him. It might be more pertinent for them to do that, or whether they move him before the deadline, especially if it does come out and request it. I am genuinely curious about that. The actual final thing that Adam and I wanted to talk about tonight, and just say we're thinking about the people in Minnesota with everything that is going on. We have so many people in our lives, Adam's brother, and then also like the people who have done our music for us our entire time, Green Top, and then our buddy Andrew Carlson. Of course, it's just we are thinking about everyone that's up there. Everyone stay safe with everything that's going on. It is crazy, but know that Adam and I are thinking about you in this
for sure.
craziness of a time up there.
Yeah, I mean, I got to talk to my brother for a bit yesterday, and it's legit scary, guys. I think people who are not living there are probably not quite realizing how serious it is up there. Really awful. So, such a bummer that like such a cool state and awesome people are having to go through this. And I go there every single year in August. I love my time there. I love hanging out there. Obviously the winters are a bit different, but this one I think is bringing a really negative vibe to the state, and it's much worse than that. Obviously, it's like we're gonna kind of refrain from commenting a ton on details, but it just sucks to watch. It sucks to watch people go through stuff like this, and I think there's a paranoia is the word Jeremy kept using, that just everyday people are just feeling for their friends, for their family, for everything. It sucks. So kind of feels like you're watching something from a movie. It's really, really awful, but it's actually happening. So I can't imagine actually experiencing it, right? Like, I'm in San Antonio where there's stuff happening here too. It's just not quite as loud. So yeah, man, we just want to kind of say that we're thinking about everybody up there, and we got a lot of people that we love up there. So definitely think about y'all.
The numbers that I saw for the the protest on Friday were crazy cool. The amount of people that were out and supporting in the negative 15-degree weather. I was on a call on Thursday with a client who is based out of Minnesota, and he was just telling me how cold it is up there. And I was like, geez. And I knew the next day was the protest, and I was like, and the fact that the numbers didn't dwindle because of that, or weren't low because of that, is crazy cool. So yeah,
There's a
we're
lot
thinking
about
about you all. Absolutely. We're thinking about you all. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this pod. And I would just say, yeah, we're not some political pod by any means, but we will in our moments that, especially like this, we will share our mind. And so, if you have a problem with that, get over it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Oh, also, final thing. Go listen to Johnson Magic. It is Adam and his brother Austin have started a little new project with some great people on the side who are helping them out, or actually kind of helping produce it. And so, sick opportunity for Adam. Go listen to their first episode. It came out earlier this week. Very fun draft. If you've been here for Adam and Austin whenever they're on with me, and it feels like more often than not, over 50% of the time, it's a draft with the three of us on the pod together. And so, if you have enjoyed that kind of content, go listen to that. It's a blast. Thanks everyone for listening. Go Celtics, go Spurs, and I'm going to say it this week, go Bulls, and thank you for retiring Derrick Rose's number and giving me the opportunity to go to
and
that.
For our people in Minnesota, go Wolves.
Absolutely. But not too good, because Adam still can't deal with the fact that Anthony Edwards shot 55 on him. Thanks everyone for listening. Have a good week, y'all.